you can almost feel the tension in the room, how serious it is, what it means to these guys. And it's just like nothing I've ever, been able to be a part of or see. And it's been amazing.
That's good to hear, because I think in the last decade or so, there's really been an effort to professionalize pool in the professional game. But then you see people like Shane Van Boening, you see like the top professionals that are out there. They're doing it right. They're eating well. They're working out. They're not out, drinking.
Exactly. And I haven't spent a lot of time with these guys, at the pool hall. I've seen them play over the years when we're down in Palm Springs. I've played golf with all these guys multiple times and enjoyed their company. But to see what tournament pool's all about is just a whole nother, for someone like me, it's blown me away.
Yeah, I've talked to several locals over the weekend, and they've talked about how great it is to have all these great players come to the Pacific Northwest. It's not an easy place to get to for players that are in Middle America or the East Coast, but yet Jason, and team have done an amazing job of really pulling together a lot of these world-class players to come out here and compete. It's been kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's a neck of the woods that these guys get out to a whole lot, and I think it's been a great experience for everywhere, especially the Weir family, Tian coming in from the East Coast, and Diane still living here. And I hope he can grow this thing and keep it going and bring it back here next year.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's for sure. It's been a lot of fun. We've had some good weather too.
Yeah.
A little smoky. We had some fires here in the Northwest and Canada and whatnot that brought down the smoke, but it's nice to have the cooler temps and be out of the desert. That's for sure.
So Spencer hit a perfect lag. So he takes the opening break. As you know, it's all important in alternate break, because if it gets to 6-6, Spencer will be breaking for the match. Breaks the balls. Got a ball in quickly, actually 2 balls. He's going to push out here to a jump shot, which is, a common tactic here. You don't have much to look at, but the 1 ball's out in the middle of the table. So you're going to push out to a jump shot, give Shane the option of either taking a jump or giving it back to you. Most players will give it back, but this is Shane Van Boening. He's going to shoot this shot.
So, Joey, what do you think he's going to do here with the jump? Do you think he's going to jump draw this?
Yeah, I think he'll try to draw it. He doesn't have to draw too far, Jason. I mean, if he gets back by the 3 ball there, he can make a cut shot on the 2. Look at that.
Unbelievable.
Or he could just draw it all the way back.
It's Shane Van Boening.
I talked to Michelle about it, and for people who don't play a lot of pool, it's just sometimes very difficult to appreciate just the quality of a shot like that. He just made it look so easy. Obviously, Jason, you and I know the difference.
No doubt about that. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. I think Spencer will think twice about pushing out to a jump shot next time. What do you think?
Well, the amount of spin he plays on certain shots, not a lot of speed going into the object ball, makes it a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, Shane does have a nice rhythm right now, the way he's walking around the table. It's going pretty good. This is a 2-set final, potentially. Concession there, and
extension off for this thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's a good point. Good observation Aaron made there, that he took his extension off for this match. And 2 matches ago, when he had the 6-inch extension on, he was overhitting a lot of shots.
It was interesting. I was tableside watching that match, and he had a shot, and the table behind him was in the way. And so he took his extension off and made the shot, and then he hasn't had it on since.
Really?
That I've noticed.
Huh. Maybe he just forgot.
It really doesn't matter what he plays with.
Yeah, true.
The other night he came in, like I said, he was practicing, but afterwards he did play some of the amateurs, and he had a bar cue that had a slip-on tip, I think. He still hit the balls just like he's doing it right now. The stroke's incredible. warp speed here, parks the cue ball, trying to park it, but on the table. There we go.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive.
What an amazing break.
Like he throws his hands up in disgust. He's like, I did it perfect. What more do I need to do?
I'm Shane Van Boening. What happened?
It's only fair, Shane. Spencer hit a good break too, and he was hooked. So let's see what happens. Shane, I think Shane will probably elect a kick at this ball. Push. Push to a kick.
This is where Jeremy Jones talks about it a lot, that he is probably the best out there when it comes to pushing after the break.
Yeah. At the top levels of the game, you want to push to the point where your opponent wants to give it back to you. You really do. Because if you give them the opportunity to take a shot, they can turn the tables on you pretty quick.
Here's the extension I see you just threw on the other table, it looked like.
Remakeable one ball here. No real problems on this table. Actually helps them get that 6 out of there. We'll play the 2 in the corner here. Safer. Where would you play this ball, Brian? Corner or side?
He'd play it.
I'm gonna go in the left corner.
Alright.
Oh, looking at the wrong ball.
That's great.
But that's where he's going anyway.
There we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the safer play. Just draw back a little on this ball. And a stun shot instead. This isn't ideal. You might just play over and back like this.
I think he played that one. What did he play that with? Interesting spin right hit the long rail there.
Yeah.
But he comes out perfect. This is going to be very difficult for Spencer. Again, I've said before, we're all rooting for Spence. But boy, I'll tell you, when Shane gets hitting them like this, breaking them like that, it's tough.
And when he's got a flight to catch.
Yeah. That's for sure. So a lot of work goes into these events, like we've talked about before. A lot of family, a lot of friends. Brian Duffy, a long-time family friend, and his wife and his son transported a lot of these players to and from the venue, the airport. It was great for them to be able to meet some of the players coming in. Again, we're trying to take care of these players like they should be taken care of, lodging and transportation, and offering a nice venue. So Brian's been a big help, and his family. Knew my dad very well. I got off the stream for a while. I don't know if Brian talked much about our upbringing, but we were both very fortunate to grow up with a great family in a great neighborhood. And Brian comes from 5 brothers and himself, and they're very well known throughout the Northwest area. Not pool players, but very good athletes, all of them growing up. But Brian's been around pool a little bit because of me, and it's been awesome coming back here to the Northwest and spending time with the family.
Yeah, it's been good to see the family again. And having 5 brothers, it was nice to go up to the Weir's house and see what the normal people live like.
You see here, Spencer's having a little bit of difficulty getting the kind of rack he likes. He knows the importance of this game. He doesn't want to fall down 3-0 to Shane. So he's going to take his good old time and make sure he gets a good rack here.
Notice that the viewers were one obviously in the front, the 2's in the back. And this has been the norm for the event. There's no touching the 1.
Yeah, if you guys need, if you guys want any tips for racking the ball, if you do a lot of rack for yourself, rack your own like this, Joe Tucker has a great book, Racking Secrets. Kind of give you the key to making that wing ball nearly every time. And
Joey,
that's
why
what-
don't you kind of tell Brian and the viewers a little bit more about that, making the wing ball, and what they're looking at here.
Yeah, so what you're looking at with the rack, if you look at the balls, the yellow one, the black 8, the stripe line ball, and the purple 4 ball, that connection right there, if those balls are rock solid tight, then you break from the near side of the table, you have a really good chance of making that red 3 ball in the corner pocket nearly every single time. And likewise, if you're on the opposite side of the table, breaking from the opposite side, you want the 1, the orange 5, the striped 9 ball, and the green 6 ball frozen up solid. And you got a good chance of making that brown 7 in that corner pocket. So I remember I used to play a Rack Your Own event, tour actually, and before I knew that, I did terrible. And then after I knew that, I did much better. So
So let's see what happens here.
there goes that brown
There
7.
goes that brown 7.
And then whatever else goes is usually just walk on top, right?
Mhm.
So Spencer is faced with a interesting challenge here. I think a lot of people would just roll the 1 ball and take the cue ball down behind the 9 and 2 and play safe. But Spencer's very aggressive. I would not be surprised to see him take a shot this way. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, it's a gamble here. He's down 0-2. The 1-9 looks like the shot right now to get back into the match quickly. Hiding the cue ball behind the 9 and 2. It's a gamble as well. So just depends on how Spence feels here.
For something completely different, tried to
Interesting, yeah.
bank combo, tried to bank the 1 and the 6, and he's going to pay for this.
Just let the viewers know out there, Shane Van Boening did win the first Don Weir Memorial Invitational in Palm Springs area.
Defending champion.
Defending champion. Then literally 2 weeks after the event, we ran into COVID and everything shut down. So that's the reason why we've had 2 years of no Don Weir Invitational. But getting back at it this year in 2023.
With a big splash, Jason. I think this is going to be an event that people are going to follow next year. They're going to want to stay on top of it, maybe come out to it if you open up the field a little more.
You talk about running an event. You can't. Everybody, all my friends, sponsors, everybody played a big part in making this all happen. And SVB being here, obviously a big draw. He's really never been to the Northwest. He did play in Tacoma in an event years ago, but people are really excited to come out and see him play.
Yeah.
And when SVB comes in, then a lot of the other players follow.
And he's heading straight from this tournament to Texas?
Correct. Played in the Texas Open. It was interesting. We came out with our dates for the Don Weir quite early, and Texas Open had their 1 pocket come out after and didn't know about this event. And they had, I believe, their 1 pocket event scheduled for the 26th and 27th. They were very kind after knowing what was going on to move the 1 pocket and move the Scotch doubles into the 26th and 27th.
Wow, that's great. So we hit that break with
That
a
is
little bit
unreal.
of top on the cue ball. So the cue ball rolled down to the bottom rail. Not ideal, but then he would have makes 4 balls. So as long as he makes this red 3, I think he'll be fine. Play it out in the corner. Every shot. Jason, can I take the opponent? Thanks.
Okay, so it looks like, did we mark this at 3-0 now?
It is now
Now
4-0.
4-0.
So I have a novice question. I know there's a lot of people probably from the Everett area around watching the live stream that's not familiar with pool. Why is an eyeball just picked up on a rack like that? The game's over after the game.
Okay. So, you have probably the best player in the world going to shoot a shot
So it's
that
just gimme.
almost any person
Gotcha.
is going to make. So Spencer was like, yeah, I can see.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's normally a thing.
Given a putt and match play. Kind
Exactly.
Of thing. Gotcha.
And there's a lot of talk about that amongst players. Joey, you can talk about this too, in that we have seen straight-in balls missed. We have seen things miscued. Funny things happen. So a lot of viewers or a lot of players out there, and a lot of these players here, vote against that, giving balls up, even at this level. Odds are they're going to make it 99.9%. But we're playing for a little bit of money here. There's a lot on the line.
I don't typically concede in a tournament. If I were playing, for money, it's a different story. But you have a tournament, you have a stream, you have fans watching. So to me, it's always a greater joy, to have someone see a person pocket the 9-ball.
Right.
Brian, you definitely see when you go to the larger events, like a U.S. Open, you never see that.
Yeah.
A little bit different events.
Yeah, I actually played in a tour where it was a 1-game penalty to concede like this. So if you conceded the game, you automatically lost the next game. So it only came up a couple times during the tour season, but when it did, it was a big deal.
Interesting shot that he has here.
It's a little tricky. I like coming inside English and going 3 rails.
Going 3 rails.
He's going to play that way.
See what happens with the 8
Hit
ball
it
here.
really hard.
And I think he's going to get pretty fortunate. It's a nice shot.
Thing I've noticed about Spencer, he's got a really good eye, really good talent, can make any shot. Seems like he can, he hasn't fully kind of accepted having a lower gear sometimes. Okay, now's the time where maybe I just want to hit this smooth, follow through, and not necessarily just jam it in. Which will come with more seasoning.
Another, Chris Reinhold and Spencer grew up together. They're super friends. And I talked to Chris, and Chris said, I am so excited for Spencer to be able to be in the moment like this and play Shane. And it's great for his confidence as he overrolls that ball a little bit. He's got a tester here, yeah.
I'm going to try to cut this ball backwards in the corner.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Wow.
Never a doubt.
Yeah, I got a funny story for the viewers out there. Michelle, my wife, and I got married a year ago, just over a year ago here in the Northwest. We had a lot of the pool players at the wedding. Chris does photography. And so Chris was our photographer, and he actually stayed at the lake house with us for a week. Got to know my family. And my family had no idea Chris Reinhold was a pool player. And my mom watched Chris play and says, "Boy, our little friend Chris, the photographer, really can play some pool."
Oh, that's great. Well, that's the thing about pool. You cannot tell how good a pool player is just by looking at him, right? You can kind of look at somebody who plays football and say, "Oh, they look athletic. They're probably good." Can't do it with a pool player. We come in all shapes and sizes. Nice shot here. It's going to be tricky.
We'll follow this down by the 9. I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah, coloring's a little different on this monitor here.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, this is pretty tough for Shane. He's looking at just getting out to leave himself a bank shot on the 4 ball, I think. Which, up 4-1, that's not a bad risk. To go a little further, though, he's going to have to hit this with a little bit of inside English and tighten up that angle a little bit. Get firm, too. Tighten it up a little too much.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Too perfect. Tighten that up.
That's the thing that makes Shane so dangerous, though, is like he plays all games well. You know, when he wants to play one pocket, he can be the best one pocket player, pretty much. You know, we've seen it matching up with Tony Churman and the players. And he can play great 8-ball, he can play great 9-ball. He's just so dangerous. Can do great at banks. Came up a little short there, though. Spencer had a chance to draw within 4-2 and break him, so this is very crucial.
Yeah, there's no doubt the dedication's been there his whole life. You know, his family background has been cool. Everything about his life is about that. But the dedication he's put towards the game is unlike no other.
Jason, you told a story yesterday about Richie and being approached by Shane and asked to play, and he's like, no, because that's going to be the best player in the world someday. And I've heard a few people say that about Shane. How did people know at such a young age that he was just going to be so good?
That's a super question because it wasn't like Shane had won a U.S. Open yet. It was in 2001. It was in Las Vegas at the Riviera at the BCA. And Shane actually, I found out later, drove to that event from Sioux Falls by himself straight because he didn't want to spend money on a hotel room. But anyway, yeah, he was rather unknown at that time. But, Rich has been around a little bit and some of the players. As soon as Shane probably started asking, Rich probably asked a few players. But the story goes, we arrived in Las Vegas and Rich Geiler was in the front row playing Bobby Pickle. And they were playing for quite a bit of cash and they were having a lot of fun. They're probably the better players there. And Richie got done and Shane walked up to him. I had no idea who he was. And he said, I'd like to play you some. And Rich said, no. Next day we walk out of a restaurant. There's Shane again. Let's play some. No. And so I asked Richie, I said, Richie, what's the deal here? You beat everybody in this place. He said, son, let me tell you something. That kid right there, he's going to be the best player in the world someday. So I flew home, and Richie was still kind of behind me on the trip, and he went out to the swimming pool at the Riviera, catch a little more sun, but he had his suitcase, his suit on, his hat, as known as the hat. And Shane came out. They were still taking the tables down at the Riviera. And Shane came out and says, hey, you want to play some more? Richie said, no, I told you, kid, I don't want to play you. So it was neat to have this tournament and have Richie here, which he got an award last night. I presented to him at a special dinner at Everett Country Club where I grew up, and have Shane in the room as well. So come full circle in 20 years. So here we go. Spence has got to get the game here. And that's...
Did I mark Spencer's score? I think I did. Guys in the chat, let me know. Did I mark Spence's score? I think I did. I'm not sure. Oh, who broke? Spence. Yeah.
Spence, yeah.
He breaks on it.
Yeah, that might... There's some talk here, I think, about what just happened with that. With Spence hitting that cue ball. But I think we're just going to move on here. I'd love Shane to get out here. See, those little rubs like that, I'm going to tell you.
He's got a feel for it.
He's got a feel for it. Normally, if that was me, I'd probably be hooked.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oof.
Wow.
That would have been good. Yeah, I just find it interesting because, there's so many players out there that are good when they're young, and everybody has high hopes for them, that even now there's, good young talent out there, and you're like, oh, that guy's going to be great. But I haven't heard many people say they're going to be the best player in the world or they're going to be a world champion, But it seems like just Shane has something about him early on that when people saw it, they were just like, there's something different. I remember the first time I heard about him was the U.S. Open when he played Keith McCready, I think in the first round, and lost. And I want to say he was young, 17 or something. And I was pretty close with Keith and Jenny Ann, and they posted on, social media We just played this kid from South Dakota. This kid's going to be amazing. You know, and I think the next year he might have won it. It might have been the next year. That
2006 was his first, I believe.
Yeah, so maybe it was 2005.
Mm-hmm. And boy, I'll tell you, he is very hungry for his next U.S. Open coming up. You know, he's tied with Earl Strickland, I believe, at 5. You know, 6 would really be the icing on the cake. As he's starting to wind down a little bit, he just turned 40 years old. He's really going after those majors that are out there and focusing on those. But I really think that if he does win his 6th, it really has to go down as the best U.S. player ever to play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he might be the one.
Yeah, and they always say arguably, but just looking at the quality of players that are out there now, you know, it's more of a global sport than it was in the early 2000s and in the 90s.
You know, that's the thing with even the U.S. Open now. Like, if you look at what he competes against in the U.S. Open nowadays, nice break there, he's got a shot on 1. You know, the field has become more international. It's become a top tier tournament. You know, there's been some good U.S. Open champions that you wouldn't necessarily put in the great category, like, you know, Deuel and Tommy Kennedy. They're very good players. No disrespect to them intended, but I don't think anyone of that caliber would win a U.S. Open nowadays with the type of talent that's there.
I agree with you 100%. So you ask, you know, why is that? Why is pool more of a global sport? You know, we did have a contract with ESPN back in the day, which was lost, but that's a beautiful shot right there, that carom. You know, because I believe there is much better players out there. The quality of players are completely different than it was back in the 80s. U.S. used to dominate pool back in the 80s and 90s. Now, you go to a tournament with 256 players, and boy, I'll tell you what, it's a dogfight.
Other countries have not just caught up, they've surpassed.
The Philippines coming in there definitely. So now, you know, we're seeing it, you know, Germany, everywhere.
I really like that last shot. You know, just a way to know that you're going to increase your window for position. You know, to play that ball 4 rounds is something that.
Shaner goes on the hill here at 62.
Guys, we got 485 people in here. It's awesome support. We appreciate it. Do us a favor. If you haven't shared it yet, share this. We're at the Weir Memorial, joined here by Jason Weir, Brian, what's your last name? Duffy, family friend, sitting in the booth. We have Break and Run Promotions doing a live stream. We're here at the Golden Fleece. Just an incredible weekend, incredible pool. Spencer Ladin already beat Shane 1 time earlier in the tournament. Now Shane has to beat him twice to take down the title. It's amazing how many hill matches we've seen this weekend. We could be in store for another, and maybe this set or maybe the next set. So free stream, guys. Get it out there to as many people as possible. Spencer has a cut shot on this 1 ball. Running to the 4, the 2. It got a little tricky now. I guess he could try to draw the cue ball behind the 9, but that's awfully touchy. You'd have to hit that ball perfect to kind of have it sit behind the 9 and not pop out in any way. It doesn't have any offensive options that I see.
It really doesn't have a pocket here.
Yeah, could kind of maybe play a carom on the 7. That's risky. Maybe he could draw the cue ball straight back behind the 3, but he's got to hope the 2 hits something. Play the bank. Kind of put Shane in a similar position. Not a lot of options.
Yeah, I agree. You know, these 2 tables here were refelted last week. The other tables, we played our 10 tables this week. The other 8 are somewhat new, but they do, these 2 TV tables play a little different. Shane goes for 1 there.
It's a bit of a flyer that you would expect up 6-2. Spencer will be banking the 2 into the 7. Try for that shot. I can pretty much tell that he's not going to play much 6. He has to.
It's go time for Spence.
Yeah, just the nature of the way he plays. And, probably doesn't want to get out of that offensive mindset either. He's thinking, I got another set, so let's not change the way I play. Shane's going to have to spear this jack up a little and try to pocket the 2, come off the side rail for the 3.
Commentator's curse, but this shot he's fantastic at right here. We're spearing it, and I guarantee he'll probably hit it with his feet.
I thought he was going to miss it.
Slides it in the pocket. Correct.
Yeah, normally, Brian, when we see somebody's going to make a shot, they miss it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that in golf, too.
Most sports, yeah.
Yeah, most sports, it's like that.
Jinx.
We should chalk up the win.
Yeah, so it looks like Shane is probably going to end this match out here.
Looks like it's going to go to a second set.
Second set here.
Brian,
Yeah.
what do you think? Any chance for Spencer in the second set, or do you think Shane's in locomotive mode?
Well, I think he's got a flight to catch, and he's focused.
Yeah, there we go, guys. That's the first set.
Wow.
I'm going to step off here. I want to thank everybody in the chat for listening. I want to thank Joey Ryan, Mike Pinozzo, Mike Molina, really special guys. We really appreciate you guys making the trip up here to the Northwest, making this so special. You guys bring a lot to the sport, which it really needed that, and I'm very impressed with where you guys are going.
Thank you.
So I want to say thank you very much.
Really appreciate having us.
You bet. We look forward to making it better next year.
Class act, total class, the whole.
That's what we're after. But we're more after taking care of the players. I'm a true believer, and you've got to take care of the players. And if you do that, and you got the right players out there, I think we can grow the sport. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. I know you worked your tail off. I'm going to sign out as well, and thank you.
Oh yeah, nice
Definitely, it's good to meet you, and
it's good having you. And
hopefully
you do have a great voice.
Hopefully, we'll see you again next
We
year.
just got to get you to talk more. What do you think about the 3 ball?
Yeah, I didn't want to come across as too much of an amateur. So. Hey, appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
Thanks.
I got Lori John
Very
from Indiana.
Oh, bring her in.
Lori's up. Great.
Yeah, she called
Are
me.
you going to stay here with her, or should you?
Then we'll go up. She's
All right, opening game, set 2. Shane's got to try to slide into this 3 ball here. Make something happen. He hits the 9, gets behind the 3. Doesn't look like he has a pocket for the 3 though, so we'll have to see what he comes up with. This is the best time to watch Shane. Really, is when he's in a pickle, because sometimes he comes up with things and you can't really anticipate it. So it's kind of great to watch, because you can learn some things or just see how one of the best players in the world is going to hit a shot. Flying solo right now, there's a rumor that Lori John might come down to the booth, which would be awesome, even though she beat me in the tournament. But, let's see what we got. We're up like that. That's a good shot there. We got about 470 people in. This is the second set of the finals, guys. Whoever wins this race to 7 is the champion of the Don Weir Memorial Tournament. Kick shot. Spencer hits it really, really hard. Looks like he might sell out a shot. It's close. She's crouching down, hoping to get a look at it. Let's see, he can see it by the way he's cueing the cue ball. He really got into that ball good with some inside English. Works it down for the 4 ball. Another inside English shot here to hold for the orange 5. And he's in perfect shape to get up. Be a little careful with this, not to draw behind the line ball. Does a good job of opening up the angle there. Corner, 9 in the side, and Shane will take a 1-0 lead in the second set for all the money. Sophia, can you hear me okay? Shane steals that first game once Spencer's break. He will be breaking now to go up 2-0. Spencer's got to find a way to disrupt Shane's rhythm here. Shane is playing good, breaking good. He just broke 5 balls in. One of them being the 9 ball, which is in the spot. He's dead straight into the 2. Matthew, I'm not sure the payouts. Let me see if I can get Melina to update me. She makes quick work of that rack, goes up 2-0. Remember, this is the second set of the finals, guys. Spencer had the hot seat. Shane has to beat him twice. Shane wins the first one, I think 6-2. Now he's up 2-0 in the second set. Coming to you live from the Weir Memorial. This is Breaking Run Promotions. Doing a great job with the stream here. This is Joey Ryan from Full Player Podcast. Also, the Dogging It Live Show with Melina Mike on Windows Open. Coming to you from Golden Fleece. Billiards in Everett, Washington. Sorry. Let's see. Spencer breaks. He does not have a great opener on the 1.
Yeah, sorry about that, Joey. I went upstairs and I got fell into a trance
No worries.
watching Shane just breaking and making 5 balls.
Yeah, it was sick. You know, it kind of seeing the aggressive style in which Spencer plays. He may just jack up here and take on the bank and try to draw into the line. Doesn't look like he can do that. Maybe he just bank the ball. Might get safe here.
Oh, he got a roll there.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't think Shane. I wonder if the 1-8-9 is in play. That'd be interesting.
Ooh. Okay, cut the 1 down to the 8.
3-ball combo. 1-8-9. That might be the only option. Sometimes in pool, you're left with an opportunity where it's like the only thing you can do, from what I understand. That might be it. But let's see what Shane likes to do here. He didn't really look at it, so. Now he stands up. I don't even know if he's considering that, but it looks like he can get 50% of the 1 or so.
Right.
It looks like he would be able to cut the 1 into the 8. Anything you do is kind of dangerous because you're going to leave that 9 in the corner. He's going to try to play safe. It's going to leak on him.
Oh, yeah.
So the 1 ball does go in the corner. I don't think it goes in the side pocket.
No, I think it's got the edge of the 2.
I think that's a 4.
4. Oh, I swear, I like those tournament black balls for streaming.
This was the problem with that is even if you make it, you have to make it and avoid all this traffic down here. He's got the jump cue. Big moment here for Spencer. That player whack he wants to get out of.
Oh, and he hit the 6.
He scrapes the balls.
Oh,
Shane's leading 3-0. Second set for all the money. You happen to know the payouts there?
first place is 10,000.
10 grand for first place. That's no chump change.
Not at all for a 2-day event. And I think the Calcutta, I want to say, was around 5,000 for first, 4,000.
Mike did a good job.
He did a really good job. It was awesome seeing him out there.
Yeah, he impressed me. I was surprised. I was joking with him like he was going to get like 500 in the whole Calcutta.
Well, when he started off doing the blind bid, and it got stuck at 500, and
yeah, I walked up to him at that point and I said, I just whispered to him, hey, tell him who's in the field.
right.
Because you got to know, if you're doing a blind bid, you got to know all the great players that are here. So I told him, like, tell him who's in the field, and it put him completely on tilt. What a shot by Shane. He would have rather that ball fell, but he'll take it. And I told Melina, hey, tell him who's in the field, and it put him on tilt. He couldn't, like, think. He just blacked out for a minute. It was when it was on 500, and then finally, thankfully, somebody raised it and got it going.
Yeah, I think that actually ended up going to 14. I want to say 13.
Yeah, it was a good chunk of change for, like, you got
Your pick of the litter?
Calcutta's in the South. I mean, they just throw money around. It's crazy. But, look, Shane
Oh, nice.
Shane's just playing games now. He's like, yeah, I could just run these balls, but I'd rather just carry them in against it quicker. Shane takes 4-0 lead. As fun as this is to watch, as well as Shane's playing, I really would like to see Spencer kind of get some licks in here.
Absolutely.
He's played great this whole event. He cruised all the way through to the final. I'm sure he'd hate to go out like this to lose 6-2 and then another, Hey, here she is. Get her suited up. Get this. Okay. Got a special guest commentator coming in.
Absolute pleasure. So just keep the mic right by the left there so we'll catch it.
Hey, Lori John.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I will always know you as Laurie John Jones. So
That's
tell me your
I am
official
so sorry.
name now.
Official name now, and it rhymes. I'm going down with
Okay.
Brown. So Brown is my last name.
Laurie John Brown.
The final one.
Got it. Can you move the mic a little closer just so people can hear you?
Yes. Sorry.
So, we got this match here. This is the second of 2 sets. I don't know if you caught the first one.
Yes. I was upstairs. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Just, Shane just makes such a statement.
He is making his presence felt. There's no
He
doubt about
sure
it.
is.
It just looks like he's practicing sometimes when he's playing.
Yes.
Indeed.
Like, what can you say but yes?
Did you happen to catch the match with Stan, where Stan kicks the ball in against Rob Zayas?
The 7 ball.
I did not.
Oh,
What a shot that was. You'll have to check it out on the YouTube or something. It was unbelievable. Rob played a good save. It was Hill. And Stan makes a crazy kick shot, cuts the ball all the way across the rail. It was unbelievable.
It happens.
Yeah, it sure does.
Sometimes when whenever you give the table back, whether it's a safety or a kick, you're giving the table back and you're allowing.
anything to happen?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when Rob hit that shot, I was saying you should play safe. Everybody was saying you should play safe. I'm taking my mouse back. Okay. Spencer was here behind me, and he's like, "No, we should have banked it." And we're like, Spencer, come on, you're so aggressive. and then obviously when Stan kicks the ball in, Spencer's like, that's why you should have banked it. Don't let him back to the table. And I'm like, okay, fine.
See, that's you don't let them back to the table. I think that there's, it's interesting. If you can truly, but on a bar table, you have to really freeze someone and lock them in and give them no rails or anything, and you do. Sometimes you have to say, what's the benefit? If you just don't want somebody to get back to the table.
Right.
So.
Shane hit a terrible break here. We only made one ball.
Yeah.
On the one. We're used to making 5 balls in the break.
Okay.
He does have a little bit of an issue with the 7-8. Let's take a look at that from a different viewpoint. Yeah, he can't even really, I don't even think he can play short side on that. It looks like the 7 might not pass the 8 there. What do you think, Larry?
I don't think it doesn't look like it passes.
He's going to have to figure something out, some way to play into those balls, which is really tough because all the rest of the balls are on the other half of the table, so it's going to be a little tricky. Now, I bet you know what I bet I'll do? I bet he's looking for some kind of 4-9 combination. What if he makes this 2, draws out, shoots the 3 on the side, and then plays a 4-9 combination?
Yeah.
That way he doesn't have to mess with the 7. Like this?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know his game.
I think he's seen him play quite a bit, so yeah.
But today,
Well-
over and over.
Again, you're on the offense, you're shooting to win, and by chance you miss that combination, there's 2 balls that are locked up really in a really funny way because you can't play a set. You're going to have to thin it or do something crazy because the 7 ball does not go past the. Although he's looking, I don't know.
Laurie John, I made an observation earlier that when I watch Shane play, I'm always surprised at how aggressive he is. And for your years on the WPPA, having your battles with, the top players, Jeanette and Allison and players like that, I mean, was that a common thing that you saw from the top players, just going after
You
shots?
have to. You have to. You cannot. I remember. Yeah. So he is.
Yeah.
Or doing something. I don't know. He's gonna
I like my
play
shot
a
better.
safety. Unless there's too much angle
Yeah.
that obviously it's hard. It's hard, and I hate doing the booths because sometimes I can't see.
Tricky.
Right.
So see, he's got. Does he have enough angle to
don't
follow?
think he does.
No.
No.
Okay.
But you could always really ratchet up some inside English your plate in the corner and try to go over, across, and back and get into.
Side rail,
I
side rail.
mean, it's Shane Van Boening. Would I be able to execute that? No. But Shane Van Boening? Let's see. He could also try to cross bank it inside and play right into the middle of those balls.
See that? Yeah.
I think he's looking at that actually.
Yeah.
Bar tables are different too. You can make these little tiny shots, that are do some pretty incredible things.
Yeah.
Spencer is a really nice kid. Like he is.
Yeah,
What a
he seems
player!
like
What
it,
a
yeah.
player! What a personality! I don't know if he plays on big tables or not. I don't know. He'd be a good additive, good added person to the tour.
Yeah, he he's young. So in a few years to get some Mosconi Cup points, he'd be a fun player to have out there.
Absolutely.
He's cross banking, guys.
What a great
Beautiful shot.
Oh,
With the 7 lining in
Look,
the
oh, yeah.
side.
oh perfection.
That's a hanger for Shane Van Boening.
Oh,
my
goodness.
Just to let you know, Spencer just made him very angry putting him into the losers bracket. Shane's like true double. I remember we were discussing it the first day. They were at the lake house. We were there like Wednesday and Thursday, and they were discussing, is it going to be true double elimination? Is it going to be, and Shane said, yeah, it's got to be true double elimination. So He's making his statement.
So, Lori John, while I have you here, you know I do a podcast. I like asking people questions. So I just want to know, thinking back on your career, what is like the crowning achievement? What's like the highlight of your career? Like your the moment you think back on and you're like, wow, that was so cool.
You got to give it to my first world championship at 15. That was tremendous. But first time beating Gene Lucas
Really?
in the finals.
Yeah.
In the finals, I can still picture it. Cutting the 9-ball.
No kidding.
Cutting the 9-ball in the side pocket because I got bad position and it was an incredible shot.
Let's take a break from that real quick. It looks
Yeah.
like the one ball does not pass.
Nope.
Looks like he's lining up a cut in the side. It's a pretty extreme cut here. Take us through that match, would you? Do you remember?
No.
She remembers the 9-ball though.
I remember the last rack. I remember it was a hill match.
Ooh.
You know, and it was amazing. You know, it was amazing when I got the chance to run out, and I did. Just
Ooh, that looked like it was going to.
Dean, that is the stuff that happens. That shot right there, that's the kind of stuff that happens on a bar table that, at least for me, I don't think about.
Yeah.
And I mess up so much on position and, you know, different things like that where I'm like, oh my God, I just scratched. Oh, it's a bar table.
Right.
That's right. You know, and because I do things out of like, you know, it's like habit memory, and yeah, bar tables. I just need to play. If I'm going to play in the tournaments, I personally don't find it easy. I personally need to really practice on a bar table.
before playing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Shane is in dead one cheer.
He's saying right now, I got to catch a flight tonight.
Let's go. So, Lori John, that sounds like a great victory against you, but I really thought that you would say that moment was beating me hill yesterday. Was that up there? Top 5?
Right in there.
Okay.
Right in there. Right in there. On a bar table.
Right.
Shane is just, you know, and Shane and Jason, and, you know, Shane loved Don Weir, okay?
Yeah.
So did I, you know, and this tournament is a personal thing to Shane. This isn't just, you know, like, you know, the Don Weir Memorial, like, oh yeah, I love Don Weir, I want to play it. Him and Jason are like best friends.
Yeah.
You know, so this tournament not only is a tournament that, of course, he wants to win because he wants to win everything, but it's a personal thing for him.
Yeah.
So I find this. I knew this was going to be a tough thing for when I found out that, you know, when I saw Spencer win and knowing he was going to get into the finals. Yeah, I knew this was going to be hard. I knew Shane was going to come out fighting.
Shane is on the hill, but this will not be easy. He's pocketed 2 balls on the break, it looks like, but he's hidden down here in the corner. He's going to push out to a jump shot. And earlier in the match, first game, I think, Spencer pushed out to a jump shot. Shane made it and ran out. So a couple questions in the chat I just want to make sure we address. Shane's headed to Texas right after this. He's going to play in the Texas Open.
Yes.
And then I saw one other. Oh, yeah. A question, if it's true double elimination, loser side, shorter race, the second race is shorter too. Usually, yes, that's the way it's done.
Both sides were 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
In this case, it was 2 races. It was a race of 7 on both sides. So this is also a race of 7. I'm sure Spencer would prefer it to be a race to 11 about that one.
Oh.
Yeah, if it's one match, you got to make the right race long.
Right.
You know, but if it's true double elimination, you just keep it the same.
That's true.
I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing a race to 13 for the final
Yeah.
between these two. That would have been something.
Well, Spencer's got a chance here to draw it to 6-2. 7 balls a little weird right by the side pocket there, but should be able to get good shape on it.
Yeah, he can make the shape.
This is an important rack for Spencer. He wants to get out here. He doesn't want to kind of lose to Shane by a total of 14-3 in 2 sets. You know, like he wants to kind of make a statement, like it wasn't a fluke the first time.
No, absolutely.
This is tough. I think he wants to come up above this ball.
Yes, he
Like
does.
this.
He can't go.
Oh,
He
he's
can't
gonna
go
be great on that ball.
Perfect.
He did hit it well.
He's looking at the little, I love this little Spencer's, the stroke thing. The stroke.
The free shot,
Yeah,
how
the free.
A good 3 strokes real quick.
Uh-huh.
Lord
He's
John,
so fast.
Lord John, what do you think his ceiling is? How high do you think he would go?
Okay, again,
You've
we're on
seen a
bar
lot of good players.
Okay, again, we're on bar tables. There are people who play on bar tables that, years ago and stuff, like, you couldn't touch them. David Matlock, you know what I mean? People like that, you couldn't touch them. On a big table, it's a different story. So with younger people coming up, my constant thing, we'll see. That's the only thing that, even with the girls, I say, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many variables in life that happen, and you have no idea.
Are they going to have the work ethic of an SVB, right? It's kind of, he's like the Kobe Bryant of pool. He puts in so much work. And then you look at, other players, like a player I love, Sky Woodward. He had a kid, he kind of took a little bit of time off, didn't train as much, and then it took him a while to get back up. Now he's back up, right? But how much is Sky going to dedicate to it? Could he surpass SVB? That remains to be seen. Life changes, having a kid.
Let me tell you, there's a love that doesn't count. But if it hangs, there's the 9 ball. Okay, I was going to say if it hangs, there's got a combination.
It's close to a double kiss if you were to make it into the 9. I think he'll just run down with a 7 ball.
Yeah.
Sky, you were just mentioning Sky. He's been finishing really high in these match events lately. What was it? I forget which one it was. He knocked SVB out.
Yeah, look at this. Spencer elects to play the 3-ball combo. Nails it dead straight in.
Everybody's.
I hear people upstairs.
Yes.
We hear people kind of getting behind Spencer, like, let's go.
I think everybody really wants to see it go.
Well, of course.
Right.
Me personally, I don't like these 6-6 things. My heart can't handle it too much. But I love watching 6-6. I love sweating them. But Shane is just. Oh man, we were talking about it the other day. He's just an entity. Again. Yes, there will be another great somewhere down the road. There will be another SVB, but work ethic, the way he does life. It just for right now until he's done, it is cool. It is cool, and that's just it.
Take a look at where this 3-ball ended up. We saw Shane just leaned over to take a look at it. It doesn't look pretty.
Is it frozen?
It sat right on the point.
Yeah, if it sits on the point, that's a difficult thing.
And it looks a little high to shoot one of those shots where you shoot right into it and compress the point.
Mm-hmm.
So he might not end up having to play this ball down the corner. It's interesting.
Because the
Tell you what, it's not a picnic getting from the 1 to the 2 either.
No, it's not. I looked very quickly. I thought the 8-ball was the 2-ball until I saw the 2. I know, I understand. Or the 4. No, it's the 4. See?
I've been doing that all weekend.
Sorry. We need big color balls like we used to have. We used to do that with big color balls. He might have to play a defensive shot.
Yeah. He's really giving that a go.
Although he doesn't want to. He just wants to run out.
Yeah, he doesn't like to play defense.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's going to spear this with low right English and try to come back toward the 3. And then maybe back across for the 4.
If the 2 was near there, he would. You could possibly, when you played across the table, bump the 3-ball or something, but you can't because the 2-ball's not, and it's not in a good spot. Okay, and he did. Oh no! Oh no!
So he focused so much on trying to pull the cue ball back into the 3 ball, which it eventually did.
But you couldn't have seen. But could he have seen the 2 ball? Even if he didn't scratch
That's
the
a good
2 balls
point.
behind the 9. So I don't understand.
Maybe
Unless he
was
tried to hit it thin, very,
Yeah.
very thin, and then come out,
to the middle
come
of
out
the
to the middle of the table. Yeah.
Spencer's got to be a little careful here. He's got to negotiate the 7 or the 4. Looks like he's going to come 2 rails. And if he puts a little too much spin on it, he could hit the 4. If he puts a little less spin, he could hit the 7. Oh yeah, thanks Gary. Sky and Savannah.
Yeah, I just read that on Facebook before. They
nice.
and Billy Thorpe, and I'm not sure who his partner was, but they came in second.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Have you played Savannah Houston yet?
Yeah, she's so cute.
Yeah.
She is a spitfire, and you know what? That's a great person in our sport. You know, it really is. Like, and Sophia Mask.
Yeah.
Just, but Savannah has her parents behind her, her work ethic. She's always out there. I pray to God she does not get burned out, but she loves the sport, and it's her that's doing it. And as long as that keeps going, there's no stopping this one. Oh, look at this! That was not. Ooh, that was not a great. It was a difficult.
For ball in hand
Yeah,
position,
yeah.
it was very tough to get on the ball. Ooh. I wonder if the 2 would have passed the 3 from the other direction if he would have just taken a different
I don't know.
say short side of the 2. Just gotta look at it real quick.
Yeah, I think he would have.
I think you could
Yeah,
have
you
bobbled
could have
it
done it
in.
softly. So then I would
well,
have just cut the ball and come 1 rail down, I think, just to be safe. Hindsight's 2020, and I never missed a ball.
you too, huh? I've never made a mistake in the booth.
Well, Spencer is usually pretty accurate with his kicks, and he kicks hard, so stuff could happen.
That's the way you're supposed to kick, unless you're playing the complete safety. You kick to pluck something in or make it. You know, if you know where you're hitting the ball. There's
Of course, he makes me a liar.
yeah. You just know. You can't kick softly like that unless you know where that ball's going.
I think Shane will go forward here. It's a little safer. Yep, he's cueing low. Oh yeah, he did go forward. He tricked us.
Low
Cued low.
Low follow. Well,
That lady better
This
start
is-
singing.
this is looking like it's done. Yeah, Shane is he is a machine. I love watching him.
Yeah, guys, this has been a special treat. We thank you guys for joining us as this is winding down. We kind of see the writing on the wall. Over 500 people in here. Really appreciate the support for the Don Weir Memorial, for Break and Run Promotions, Golden Fleece Billiards. What a weekend. What an event. Thanks so much, Lori John, for stepping in the booth. It's been an honor.
Thank you. Yay.
Thanks, Aaron, for having me. Congratulations to Shane Van Boening, the champion of the 2023 Don Weir Memorial. Runner-up, Spencer Ladin. Great event. Really popped onto the scene. A number of other storylines here. Stan Tarango just played an amazing event. We had Young Gun, Daniel Sardancillo. Sardancillo. What a great player.
Great player, yes.
Yeah, unbelievable. Tons of great play. Dan Louie went far. Another guy to beat me, Hill. Tons of Great matches, hill matches, beautiful venue. Guys, follow this event. If they expand the field next year, make it out to Everett, Washington, you won't be disappointed.